Mike Rizzo.
And I'm Michelle Rizzo.
And this is Northwest Brew Talk. Welcome to Northwest Brew Talk, the #1 podcast on Washington beer, brought to you by Micro Homebrew, located in Kenmore. This is episode number 69. Each and every week, we promote the Washington brewing industry by talking to those people involved and drinking Washington beer. If you like to drink Washington beer, learn about the people behind it here on our show. With over 300 breweries, we try to highlight as many as possible every episode. If you're new to the show, we suggest you check out our back catalog with some great interviews and lots of Washington beer. This week on the Micro Homebrew interview, we talk with Barrel Mountain Brewing. We also have our brew news and local music from Cranefield.
If you have comments or questions, feel free to send us an email to nwbrewtalk@gmail.com. We are on Twitter at nwbrewtalk and on Facebook at facebook.com/nwbrewtalk. If you like the show and want to support us, share our link and tell your friends on social media. It takes just a few to start a revolution.
Revolution.
Our first beer this evening was brewed by Wingman Brewers in Tacoma. Open Thursday through Sunday. We're drinking their Ace IPA. Ruddy in color, Ace IPA drops a hot bomb of flavor. Brewed with 5 distinctly Northwest hops, the Simcoe, Citra, Centennial, Cascade, and Bravo hops will have you wanting to drop pint after pint. 7.4% ABV and untapped rating of 3.49.
Actually, on the can, it has 7.1, so it must have changed at some point.
And I was looking for IBUs. None of the beers that we talk about tonight have IBUs on them.
Or you can find them, you mean?
Or I can find them. Yes, they're not on the can. They're not listed on their Untapped site. They're not listed on their site.
All right. This is a distinctly hoppy beer. You can definitely smell that. Nice golden color there.
Yeah, it's very hoppy. Nice white head on it, too.
Oh, yeah. And that's got a good flavor. Nice IPA flavor there. IPA.
Yep, lots of hops.
Hoppy. But, yeah, there's a lot of good flavor. But you know what? It's not super bitter. It kind of goes away quick.
No, it's not real bitter at all.
Yeah, that's pretty good. All right. Ace IPA from Wingman Brewers. Thank you very much. And now on to our brew news.
Topping this week's news, our book, Washington Beer, is now available. This Saturday, June 4th, the book will be officially launched at the amazing one-day book release event. Starting at 11 a.m., we will be in Bellingham at Chuckanut Brewery for a signing, and Chuckanut will be offering a free brewery tour at 11:30. At 3 p.m., we'll be at Populux Brewing in Ballard for a short history talk and book signing, and at 7 p.m., we'll be at Pike Brewing in Seattle for yet another signing. You'll find us at the Washington Brewers Festival Father's Day weekend, signing books and promoting, of course, Northwest Brew Talk. It'll be a great place for brewers to stop by for an interview. If you're interested in carrying the book or hosting an event, contact us today.
A recent blog post by Iron Horse Brewery owner Greg Parker has raised some eyebrows and has us thinking. Parker pondered whether the craft beer industry should still be using the term, quote, craft beer, since the mega brewers now have so many former craft beers in their portfolios and may start co-opting the term to their advantage. He suggests that we start using the term indie beer to differentiate from the former craft brewers. Not everyone, including one distributor, is fond of the idea, but Parker says, quote, I understand and respect the distributor's position. I'm not actively sabotaging their business. I'm speaking to what I see is the truth, unquote. We believe this is something we may start using since Northwest Brew Talk only talks with and about indie brewers in Washington. Airways Brewing in Kent is a brewery on the rise. They are building a new brewery and decided after 6 years they wanted to update their logo. Airways has been about beer and the airline industry. The new logo, quote, reflects our founder's passion for the glamorous era of airline travel. The logo is reminiscent of the stewardesses of the 60s and 70s, featuring the profile of a woman wearing a hat. It's sleek and attractive, and they wanted to, quote, capture the spirit of the people in the industry. These were innovators in an age before computers and hardworking crews that worked long hours to make flying a luxury. Our new logo pays tribute to their stories and the enduring friendships that have passed on to us at Airways.
The third annual Brewshed Brewfest will be held on June 4th at Hales Ales Palladium. The event supports the Washington Brewshed Alliance, an outreach initiative of Washington Wild designed to help spread a simple message. Protected water makes superior downstream beer. The $25 admission gives you tickets to sample beers from Brewshed partners. Great beer, great cause. The biggest beer festival in Washington, the Washington Brewers Festival, takes place on Father's Day weekend, June 17th through the 19th. The 11th annual event will feature more than 500 beers from 110 Washington breweries. Held at Miramore Park in King County, this 3-day event features beers, food trucks, live music, the results of the Washington Beer Awards, and the infamous keg toss. The Friday event is over 21, but Saturday and Sunday are all ages. The inaugural Washington Beer 5K will take place on Sunday morning, June 19th. Some months ago, we reported how the city of Fircrest in Pierce County was the last dry town in Washington. Well, that day has finally passed. Fircrest has stayed dry even after repeal until last fall when voters overturned the law. Spring Lake Cafe was the first business to obtain a liquor license and served mimosas on Mother's Day. They recently did some remodeling and are hoping for a 25% increase in sales. Congrats to them and best of luck.
A new study from market research firm IRI says that craft brew sales are up only 6.5% year-to-date versus 17% last year. According to Brewers Association chief economist Bart Watson, if you were to remove Blue Moon and Shock Top, which are both down, the number is actually 8.9% growth. With some other adjustments, Watson says, quote, Brewers Association craft is up 10.4% in IRI scan data year-to-date through 5/15/16. And that is another reason why we should start calling it indie beer.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
And that is the brew news this week.
Welcome to Building a Brewery with Bob and Jesse from Figurehead Brewing.
It's been 2 weeks since we talked to Bob and Jesse from Figurehead Brewing, and saw on Facebook that you guys got some electronics done.
Yeah, we got a lot of our electrical done as well.
Oh, yeah?
We actually have in there, we can see what we're doing again.
That's always good. So what was the panels that I saw on Facebook? What was that for? Oh, it was for the temperature control, right?
Yeah, temperature control. So my father helps quite a bit with that. He does that for a living, basically. So we ran... Hi.
Yeah.
We ran the sensors for temperature sensors from our fermenters to a control panel, which then controls the solenoids that open the valves to put glycol into the fermenters and cool them off.
Nice. Very cool.
So all those wires got run, the electronics got set up, and we turned on the panels. And as soon as we hit a button, the solenoids started clicking.
Nice.
So all the solenoids are there just waiting for beer.
Nice. Awesome. Cool. So what else have you guys done in the past 2 weeks?
We got our bar kind of roughed in.
Okay.
And we also got our tap installed in the wall of our walk-in.
Okay, cool.
So our Washington State Liquor Control Board inspection sometime in the next week, hopefully.
All right, very cool. So it's the end of May. You haven't brewed yet, so you're off slightly on that one, right?
Yeah, right now we're targeting June 15th.
Okay.
That's our first brew, which is coming up real soon. So we're kind of scrambling to finish up the last few things before we can actually start brewing.
Okay, cool.
But we have bought a whole bunch of yeast.
Okay.
And so we have to use that. It's kind of when you start buying yeast, you either use it or you pour a bunch of money down the drain.
Yeah.
There's such a good level where yeast is a couple hundred, $150 to $300 a pitch.
Right.
So you have to kind of use it or lose it.
Yes.
So we're
that's good.
Yeah.
So
our first brew is going to be a beer that I've made quite a few times, home brewing, call it Big Brown.
okay.
It's an English brown ale with some yeast character and lots of malts, and it's been pretty well regarded and won a couple of homebrew competitions. So that's a good one to start it.
Yeah, sounds like a good one to start with then.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So coming up, let's see, mid-June, you want to start brewing. So what's the anticipated opening date? Is that still looking at August, or was that what it was? July.
Yeah, we're shooting for like the last weekend in July.
Okay.
If that comes together, right? Which is just.
Okay, cool. So you guys must be working pretty hard now that things are really moving along.
Yeah, we are. We're still waiting on a few things. We've had a HVAC contractor come through for us.
Okay.
So we've been emailing back and forth, and so that should happen pretty soon. Then we can fire our kettle and start lighting stuff on fire, which is a big deal because we can't do anything until we can fire the kettle.
Right.
I went around today and talked to some vendors about making a flange to make up to the HVAC stuff. It's HVAC is a little more complicated than you would think. So if you're ever going to do this, you kind of want to start HVAC first almost and get those people in line.
Yeah.
But because I've kind of had to rely on my old skills with calling shops and having stuff made to my specifications so I can line it up with other trades, as it were. But
yeah, this was, I think the first time you mentioned this was like a month ago. So so it's maybe more. So it's definitely something that somebody opening a brewery would probably have to think about pushing up.
Yeah, it's probably been our biggest challenger from a contractor standpoint.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, it sounds like things are still moving along, and see, tomorrow will be June 1st, so it that's means that you guys are, we could start saying next month.
Yeah, that also means that by the end of June we'll be trying our own beer.
Yeah.
Just like super exciting. June is going to be a great month.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very cool.
Oh, and also, my wife wanted me to mention that we bought a sink today for the bathroom.
Oh, there you go. So now you can wash your hands as well as going to the bathroom.
We have lights on the sheet. So my wife Sarah, she wired up most of the lights in the space, all the spots in the tunnel and in the bathroom.
Oh, cool.
And now we have a sink.
Nice.
So there'll be pictures on the site.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, sounds great. Bob and Jesse, thanks very much for joining us again. We're looking forward to seeing how this project comes out.
Yeah, that's good.
I bet you are. I bet you're looking forward to it even more so.
We are still looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot, guys. We appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Welcome back to Northwest Brew Talk. If you want to submit news to Northwest Brew Talk, send us an email to nwbrewtalk@gmail.com. If you've not yet subscribed to our podcast, why not do it now? It's free, available anywhere you listen to podcasts, including iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, and TuneIn Radio.
All right, and on this week's Micro Homebrew interview, we're talking to Troy from Barrel Mountain Brewing. Barrel Mountain Brewing, located in Battleground, right?
Correct.
So what got you interested in wanting to start a brewery?
Well, family was in the bar business, Prairie Bar and Grill, Prairie Tavern for 30-some years, and I just kind of grew up running the bar for my parents, from janitor to cook to bartender to everything else, and my favorite part was dealing with the beer reps and the distributors, and they just all seemed to be pretty happy people. And when the brewery scene really took off, they were even a lot more happy, and it was just something I kind of just wanted to be a part of that culture. Just part of the hospitality industry and paying attention when you go out. It just seems as though if you put out that outline that people will come. You know, if you do a good version of the brewery outline with some decent food, that it just seemed to be a win-win no matter where they were popping up. So I really wanted to bring Battleground, which was my hometown. I'm born and raised about a mile away from the brewery, and I live a mile on the other side of the brewery now. So bringing something to Battleground, some kind of tourist attention to Battleground, and something that you have in most all the other cities to brag about a little bit. So that was the goal.
All right. So when you decide you want to do this, when was that decision made?
No, that's kind of tough. I've been hemming and hawing around it for a while, several years, and originally it was actually supposed to be Silver Star Brewing, and I got hit with a trademark issue 2 days before I was fully licensed. But
Nice.
I was sitting around, you know, I want to say 5 years before we opened, the ideas were starting to formulate, and then in 2013, my mom was passing away from cancer, and she just gave me a little bit more motivation to just take a leap. And sometimes when you go through tragedy, you get a little bit more motivation to do something. So I kind of just put my foot on the gas pedal and started making it happen. That point on. Nice.
So is the location, was it a current building, or did you have something built?
So my family, my grandfather and grandmother moved here in the late 50s or early 60s and purchased the building that I'm actually in, the restaurant. And there was 2 lots. The restaurant building was already there, about a 2,000 square foot building that we transformed into the pub. And then we built a new structure on the second lot, which was right next to it, to make the brewing facility.
Okay.
So it had been in the family since the 60s. It was an old laundromat. We rented it out. We've done quite a few things with it. And so that was another reason why, you know, I was able to get into it. There was some definite family help. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, sometimes that's a big deal.
No, I mean, it couldn't happen. I mean, none of this would have happened without a couple of generations ahead of me laying the groundwork, and my dad being super generous and helping me out.
Yeah, so. Great. That's great. So how did you come across Ryan?
Yeah, pure luck. Pure luck. You know, I've been thinking around. I kind of learned brewing backwards just because I learned so much about the equipment and everything, and just kind of being a novice home brewer, and then really started kicking it around a lot more, obviously, when this was going into full gear. And originally I'd had a home brewer and I that were kind of talking about doing it together and growing up, learning the curves, if you will. And once, you know, I kind of separated, it wasn't going to work out, kind of some bumpy roads in the beginning. And then I said, wow, this is a little bit more. I'm taking a little bit more than I understand. Commercial brewing's a whole other ball game. And talking to a lot of my local friends that I was relying on around here that own breweries and stuff, they're like, you want to get somebody that knows what they're doing. So I was putting that out, and, you know, ultimately, almost everybody was wanting to come from Florida, Denver, all over, but there wasn't really anybody local. And him too, he was from Southern California, or La Quinta anyway. And anyway, he responded to the ad, and he was the only guy that really found it interesting, that was maybe really into it. And so I flew him up here for a weekend and just said, well, let's just go drink some beer together and see if we can hang out. And that'd be the first step. And just kind of, you know, been really, really lucky ever since. He decided to make the jump. He liked the idea and the vision, and was a similar size brewery where he was at. So he took a leap of faith, and we're super lucky to have him. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what size brewery do you have?
15-barrel brew house. So, you know, our goal is probably not even to get into the package game, hopefully just stay in the cake market. maybe max out somewhere between 3,000 and 5,000 barrels potentially. The goal was 3,000 barrels. I don't say no to anything, but operate small. I'd rather have more of a campus or event centers, kind of things like that, to sell more of the beer on site. Kind of make minimum style. Just make a cool patio, make some cool things, and hopefully they will come. So
okay, very cool. So, did you have ideas on what type of beers you wanted to brew originally?
I did. With having the bar, right, so that was a big part of the planning. I mean, we're a very busy bar, and so it has quite a lot of beer buying power. So we move a ton there. So I just ran a lot of reports at our bar, and then kind of came up with the idea, that I wanted to just prove to people that we could brew the styles that they're familiar with. A lot of people walk in, and at least out here, we're not quite like the Portland scene yet, but out here, most people want to come in and they want to order an amber, an IPA, a Hess, these names they're familiar with that they've been hearing versus some of the other names are still a little bit unfamiliar with. And so we really wanted to start and establish those beers and prove that, we can make those styles and have those. Those are the ones that are 70% of the movers anyway. And then start having a little fun down the road with doing a lot of some barrel aging and sours and just other recipes down the road is the plan. So, for sure, our biggest target is the Hess, the Lager, and the IPA. Those are the three that we're really going to try to push out there the most, just because we think they're all the ones that people are sucking down left and right now. So
okay,
yeah.
Well, so that was so having the bar and having sales reports was helpful in developing what you were going to do then.
It was so helpful, and in more ways we're finding out than ever before. The relationships with the distributor, which is probably one of the biggest things if you're going to open a brewery that you need to understand, is that relationship with your distributor is key. And having ultimately, I out of the 5 distributors in the area, I knew every single one of them. I had friends that every single one of them had certain levels from the top to the mid to all, everywhere around. And so when it came time to pick a distributor, it was a piece of cake, I had everybody in it. And then being in the bar biz, we knew most of the bars in town. I've met the owners and we hung out and we talked and collaborated. So we made a pretty big splash in the local restaurant, and bar scene. It was good for us to go out and grab quite a few handles a little faster than some other breweries, because of that history. And understanding it, understanding the distributor relationship, and just the business of how the kegs are getting dropped off and how it works, So running the bar, I've had so many brewery reps come in and try to sell their beer that, now when I go to do it, I've seen 1,000 pitches, so it makes it a little bit easier for us to walk into a place and know what to say and know how to say it, know when to say it, so a lot of advantages there for sure.
Yeah, that's coming in from a different angle. We talked to, a lot of people that are home brewers or people that had been, involved in the brewing business that start breweries. You're coming from a completely different angle than a lot of people, but it brings you a lot of experience.
Yeah, and it's helped us get our feet off the ground. I think a lot easier than some of the other ones out there for sure.
Right.
Yeah, it's working in our favor at the moment. We thought it would. That's why kind of going into it, we thought those things could be advantages to us, just having all that knowledge in that aspect, not just, wow, we can make great beer. We know how to run a restaurant. We know how to set a scene. We know how to have contacts. Having all those things just kind of be regular, normal, everyday stuff just definitely works to our advantage.
Yeah, that's great. So there's out of those three beers that are your primary ones, what is the IPA a big seller?
Oh yeah. We just launched our lager, so we don't even have any numbers really on that. We're just super proud of it. But Yeah, the No Bad Days IPA. It's every recipe is always evolving, and since we started it and where we are now, we were super happy with it when we first started it, but where it is now, we're really, it's really staying fresh. It's moving, and we're really fine tuning that recipe. So we're really proud of that for sure.
Yeah.
And then the hef. Our goal there wasn't a lot of just clean American hefs out there. There was a lot of German and Bavarian and hefs and all that out there, and we just really, at our place, when we were in the numbers, hef and Blue Moon in particular for micros were kind of second place to the IPA category, and so we just wanted, people, again, they would always just come in and say, hey, give me a hef. And they really didn't, they kind of cared if there was what kind of hef it was, but we always had Widmer on at the bar forever, kind of like everybody else around everywhere.
Right.
So we just wanted a nice, clean version of a hef. And we thought it would be an easy pitch at some restaurants to try to get a craft local hef in and have something else other than just trying to battle the huge IPA category, So it costs a little less to brew. You can make it a little bit faster. So a few advantages to throwing that one in the mix.
Sure.
And then the lager, we really want to just get everybody that's brainwashed on some of these big beers,
right,
that we also make a similar style. Everybody that orders Brewers or Coors Light at our bar, we say, hey, we're making our own craft lager now. You should try this. And so just trying to teach the community to be less brainwashed on Pepsi, Coke, Bud Light.
Right.
There's a lot of good products out there. At least give them a shot.
Right.
So, and that's just, again, running the numbers. Okay. Coors Light, dominates at our bar. Absolutely dominates.
Okay.
As an individual beer. I think IPA we have 5 IPAs on. You take all those, it gets pretty close. But just to grab a piece of that market, a couple kegs a week, instead of them go to our lager.
Right.
So,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was wondering if that was if that's what you tried to point people to, the lager. And you said you just recently came out with that.
Yeah, I launched this about 2 weeks ago, and we're super, super proud of it. It came right along the flavor profile that we wanted it to. 20 IBU. It's definitely, not so light. We wouldn't call it a light beer.
Right.
But there's enough flavor there to say that was a craft lager. So,
yeah.
Super proud of it, though.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, that's always a tough thing, trying to, get people converted and finding something that they might like. You don't want to throw them off the first time with some imperial stout or something.
Yeah, those are all fun, but, like I said, even if you do have an imperial stout, it's how many of those are those people going to drink? And I wanted some beers that were going to move in the mid-range ABVs.
Mm-hmm.
So
right.
A lot of good reasons to serve those types of beers right now.
Yeah, definitely. So are those 3, the only ones that you brew at this time?
Oh, no, we actually Ryan won a gold medal for our stout, our very first batch of stout we sent off, and we won a gold medal for it. So
okay, great.
At the one there in Bend, I forget what the craft beer awards is, I believe what it was.
Yeah.
So so our stout's really good. It's a little bit more on the smooth, sweet side, not super, chocolatey bittered.
Right.
We also have a tail. And we also make an amber.
Okay.
So those have done really, really well. We made an IRA. We did one batch, but then we were not able to keep up since some of the other beers started going. So it did really, really well, and people are craving for it, and they're asking for it back. But we put that one on the back burner to keep all the other styles at least on tap in the pub. And then, of course, we got an Imperial IPA as well called Trail Builder IPA, and we donate $100 of every batch we brew to the local trail association to help maintain the trail stuff up there with some of the mountain biking stuff.
Sure, nice. So, with the different, the other question was, you went a little bigger on the brewery right away, 15 barrel instead of going for a smaller one. Was that intentional?
It was, and I almost went 20.
Okay.
The idea was to have enough to serve 2 pubs. Again, the one bar that we have, it moved $35,000 a month in beer. So there was a good opportunity to try to take some of that,
Right.
And then also to have another one on top of it. So if we were going to move, a couple bars moving some beer, you're already talking, you're getting, somewhere up near 1,000 barrels, maybe 750 barrels, something like that. Your system, a lot of times you're pushing the limits on styles and brewing all the time. So when I went around and talked to everybody, everybody had different opinions. All the guys up at Everybody's Brewing, the Backwoods guys were probably my biggest help in anything whatsoever. But they all, it was just a tough decision between 10, 15, and 20. So 15 it was for me, and I wanted enough to have, when I crunched enough numbers and the amount of space I had to build a building and the size of the equipment and everything, it just seemed to be the right fit to where we could have enough product out in the community that it made sense to do that. It was profitable enough to do that at that level, and then easily have enough to keep our pubs filled up.
Right. So. Right. Yeah, it definitely sounds like your business background puts you a step up on a lot of these guys who might have good product but really have no idea how to run a business.
No doubt about it. Doing the bar business, it was very similar to doing all this brewing. I only had to learn ultimately on the business side about 10% more of stuff.
Right.
There was just kind of the way the TTB works and the liquor board works with some manufacturing space. That's been kind of new. Mm-hmm. But as far as like we said before, that whole distributing game, none of that feels new to me at all. Right. I feel like we got a firm grip on all of that. So, right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and so when you guys decide you're going to do a new recipe, is that something that you just let Ryan do, or do you guys sit down and talk about it?
Well, from the beginning all the way through, it was more about we'd get together on style, like what our goal was on style, and he really likes. He's a traditionalist when it comes to beer, meaning he wants to be true to that style. He's a real craft brewer. He's not going to brew something and call it one thing when it's truly something else. Okay. So, he likes kind of staying to tradition. Like our pale is a nice English style Sierra Nevada pale ale. It's not a session IPA. It's definitely a malt forward pale. So, some of those things, but we just really targeted. We go out there and say, hey, there's. I gave him the idea of say, hey, Widmer hep, I like the cleaner versions versus the German heps, and I like it when it looks like this and has a body of that. Let's try to accomplish that, and then he would put the recipe together, and that's how it went. And some of them, like the stout, I didn't really have much to say about the stout. He just he said he had a pretty good recipe, so away he went. The IPA, the hef, the pale, we all kind of collaborated on in the beginning. But, ultimately it really came down to Ryan's knowledge of being able to write a recipe of that size. When he was down at La Quinta, it was 15 barrel as well. Mm-hmm. So for him to work at La Quinta for 3 years on a 15 barrel and understand how to really manipulate the recipe and the grain bill to get what he wanted out of it. So.
That's good. Now, he went to Siebel, right?
Yes. Yep. And he worked at Green Flash for 4 years. He worked at White Labs for a couple years. And,
so he's got a pretty nice background there.
Yeah, really, really solid background. A good, easily into the 10 plus years of solid commercial brewing before coming here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that like you said, that was luck getting him. That sounds like a really good.
Yeah, can't even tell you. We love Ryan, and every day we make sure he's happy.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So what, you're coming up July, right? July will be your anniversary, first anniversary?
Yep. Yeah.
So you guys have anything planned for that?
The reason we tried to squeak open for that time is Battleground's biggest event of the year is Harvest Days, and we have a huge cruise-in on the Friday night. Our first Friday night open, when we opened up last year, is still our busiest day since we opened.
Really?
It was absolutely nuts. I mean, so we're kind of looking forward to that. So, yeah, we've been we hit the ground running and never stopped, so we haven't had too much time to make some plans for events and try to do these things. Things have been really busy and distribution's been picking up, and so kind of some of the extra stuff, unfortunately, we haven't had a lot of time for, but at the same time, it's kind of cool because it's going really good without all that stuff. So,
yeah.
That means when we start doing that stuff, we can maybe even push it into next year, So
right.
We've got a really cool patio, really big, 2 or 3 times the size actually even of our restaurant. We put some live bands out there and stuff like that in the summer, and people really tend to come out and support that. So.
Nice. So do you guys plan like an anniversary beer?
Not at this time. We're having a little tough time keeping up cooperage wise and keeping up in the tanks on these styles out in the community. Like I said, distribution, we had to get kind of specific distribution instead of going with even 4 styles. I mean, we definitely have extra kegs for some people, and we are distributing all 7 styles, but we're really, really just pushing the 3 so that we can try to keep up good stock on those, and
right.
The other ones are just extra. So right now, no, we haven't planned the anniversary beer, and I don't think we're going to get it in. I think we're just trying to hopefully brew one other recipe this year other than the 7 we're currently making.
Okay. Yeah, kind of like you said, you've been running since it opened, so maybe get into a little area. Maybe next year you could go for that. Yeah. We just got our first couple barrels, and so we got to get some more before we can really start, tucking some of those things away. But we got a room for a couple more tanks as well, and so eventually, as we get those tanks in here, we'll be able to start playing around. We really want to develop the barrel program, right?
And get some more recipes in.
Awesome.
Starting it up, there was enough money going out.
Right. Well, cool. Well, Troy, thanks very much for joining us today. Really appreciate that.
Hey, you're welcome. I appreciate the interest.
Okay, thank you to Troy from Barrel Mountain Brewing for joining us today.
If you're a home brewer looking for a great shop to buy your homebrew ingredients and equipment, why don't you check out Micro Homebrew in Kenmore? Tony and his staff are always happy to help a new or experienced homebrewer find what they need. At Micro Homebrew, they're proud to carry over 100 hop varieties. Visit them today at 17511 68th Avenue Northeast in Kenmore or on Facebook at Micro Homebrew. When you stop in, tell them you heard it on Northwest Brew Talk.
And we will be right back after a local music break from Cranefield.
Self-inspection.
That was World of Mirrors by Cranefield. You can check them out at cranefield.bandcamp.com. If you want to have your music played on Northwest Brew Talk, contact us today. And now let's try another beer. Our second beer this evening is from Mac and Jack's, located in Redmond, and their retail store is open 7 days a week. We're drinking their IBIS IPA. An aromatic blast of hops greets the nose when tasting this meticulously dry hopped IPA. Highly sought after Amarillo and Mosaic hops lend this beer its delicious tropical fruit nuanced flavor reminiscent of passion fruit and pineapple. I can smell that fruit from here. IBIS finishes beautifully with a subtle yet solid golden-hued malty body, 6.9% ABV, and an untapped rating of 3.66.
Oh, yeah. This one definitely has a different taste. Very similar in color to the one from Wingman, but the flavor is definitely different. It is a different fruity
Well,
flavor.
you can smell that citrus fruity smell from across the room.
Yeah, definitely different flavor.
Across the table, at least. Yeah. Oh, wow. That fruit smell is amazing.
Yeah, it's very good.
Very citrusy.
Yeah. It is dry, too, though.
Yeah.
It does finish similar to the other one.
Yeah.
Neither one of them have like a super bitter taste hanging around your mouth.
No, but both very good. Great picks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. That was good.
I want you to give me fresh beer.
You serious?
This week's Spotlight Indie Beer release is the Somnium Barrel-Aged Brett Saison with Galaxy hops from Holy Mountain Brewing, 5.4% ABV, and an untapped rating of 3.84.
And that brings us to the end of this episode of Northwest Brew Talk.
Make sure you tune in next week when we have a double header with Lopez Island and Lumberjack Brewing.
Thanks to our sponsor, Micro Homebrew. This show is written and produced by Michelle Rizzo and myself.
If you want to contact us, you can email us at nwbrewtalk@gmail.com or find us on Twitter at nwbrewtalk. Our theme music is from Gilbert Neal. Check him out at gilbertneal.com.
Until next time, I'm Mike Rizzo.
And I'm Michelle Rizzo.
Stay hoppy, my friends.
Our first beer this evening was brewed by Wingman Brewers.
And lastly this week, a new study from market research firm RII. Oh my God. Okay. A new study from market research firm RII. It doesn't sound right.